In the bitter winter of 1937, the Imperial Japanese Army broke into Nanjing. What followed was one of Japan's most barbaric and inhumane atrocities during its war of aggression against China, the Nanjing Massacre. Yet the shadow of that massacre has never lifted. In Tokyo, Japanese right-wing forces continue to visit the Yasukuni Shrine, a symbol of Japanese militarism that enshrines many war criminals, including 14 convicted Class A war criminals. Throughout the immense accounts of crimes committed during the Nanjing Massacre, a name keeps coming up, that of Japanese war criminal Hisao Tani. As a graduate of the Imperial Japanese Army Academy, Hisao Tani served in the Russo-Japanese War before being sent to China in 1937, following the Lugo Bridge incident, also known as the July 7th incident of 1937. On December 12, 1937, the 6th Division, led by Hisao Tani, was the first to breach and invade Nanjing through Zhonghuamen. He immediately unleashed his troops to brutally kill unarmed civilians and prisoners of war, plunging Nanjing into unprecedented turmoil. According to post-war sentencing records, during Hisao Tani's occupation, at Huashen Temple and Baota Bridge, his troops used machine guns to carry mass execution of more than 190,000 captured Chinese soldiers and civilians whose bodies were burnt by the Japanese soldiers attempting to cover their atrocities. Additionally, charity organizations recovered and buried the bodies of more than 150,000 victims executed throughout sporadic massacres. The total number of victims exceeded 300,000. After Japan's surrender, the International Military Tribunal for the Far East classified Hisao Tani as a Class B war criminal. In August 1946, the Chinese government extradited him to Shanghai and later transferred him to Nanjing for trial at a military tribunal. In February 1947, the military tribunal held a public trial for Hisao Tani. In court, Hisao Tani resorted to desperate chicanery, blatantly denying the crimes his unit committed in Nanjing. However, with immense amount of evidence and the testimonies of blood and tears from survivors, all his excuses were futile. The court acquired thousands of pieces of physical evidence to the massacre, including 16 photographs taken by the Japanese army themselves, preserved by Nanjing citizens at the risk of their lives. The photos documenting carnages were designated as the #1 Nanjing photo album recording Japanese atrocities. During the trial, more than 80 Chinese and foreign witnesses, including Xu Chuanying, vice president of the Nanjing branch of the World Red Swastika Society, and American professor Minor Cell Bates, testified to expose the brutal atrocities of the Japanese army. On April 26, 1947, at Yuhuatai in Nanjing, Hisao Tani, one of the principal culprits of the Nanjing Massacre, was escorted to the execution ground. The murderer of countless civilians failed to stand when facing his final moments and had to be carried by 2 military police to creep forward. A massive crowd of Nanjing citizens gathered that day with thundering applause and cheers. With the sound of a single gunshot, the crime-ridden life of this once intimidating slaughterer came to an end. The trial of Hisao Tani was a solemn legal proceeding and a profound historical judgment. It showed the world that crimes cannot be buried, and justice will never be absent.